Hey guys, in this lesson we're going to learn how to write expressions like they're complicated expressions, have multiple radicals. So we want to rewrite them as a single radical. All right, so let's take some examples here so that we understand what's going on. So number one, suppose you're given a problem like the square root of the square root of 3x. Okay, so then you can see that it's not a single radical, so you have a double here. So what you can do is just simply use a rule that say that if you have, for example, uh, you have something like that, and you have a number, and then you have n here, and you have m here. Best thing to do is just multiply the radicals. So you multiply it with m times n, and it will be mn here. Okay, so that's what the trick is. So that's what you're gonna do. Okay, so I showed that in class. And just in case you do not remember, so you have to multiply the radicals. So in order to solve this problem here, I know that we're dealing with a square root, which means you have a 2 here, right, for square root. And then you're also dealing with the other one, which is also a 2 here, which is square root, because that's the end result there. Okay, so I have 3x. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do 2 times 2, and that'll be 4. So 3x. That means taking square root of a number twice is like finding the fourth root of that. It's just like when you're dividing numbers by 2 and by 2. Like if I say 10 divided by 2, divided by 2, it's just the same thing as taking 10 and dividing it by 4. So it will just be 2 times 2, and then it will be 4. So I would end up dividing 10 by 4 because I had to divide it by 2 first. And I had to now divide it by 2 again. It will be dividing it by 4 in total. So this is what we're doing here, okay? So that's be your result. So let's take another one. Say, for example, we have to find the fourth root of, say, the square root of x squared, something like that, okay? All right, so what we can do here is actually just look at this. You say, okay, I know that there's a 2 here without being told. That means I'm going to do one single square root, do your x squared and y, uh, and do your y there. Okay, so and then you put your 2 times 2, 2 times 4, that's your 8, and then final result is going to be looking like that. I mean, it's not that bad. It's just really pretty straightforward. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. Okay, and maybe let's take maybe something like uh, number 3. Just looking at examples that are very good. Let's say cube root of the square root of xy. So in this case, what can we do? And okay, you say, okay, since it's a 2 here, without being told, you just say 3 times 2, and it'll be the sixth root of xy. And that's done. Number 4, let's look for another problem. So it says using single radical, and this is what we can do. Let's say I have square root of the third root of the fourth root. To do this, what I can do here is to notice that I have 2 here without being told. So which means my final result should be 2 times 3 plus 4, which is 24. It'll be the 24th root of x. That's what we're talking about. So this is how you do this kind of problems, okay? All right, so there are still more, and there are different ways you can do all this square roots, and I will show you more very soon. Thank you for staying.